All right, folks, what is going on? What is going on? This is episode 36 of the VF Cast. I am VF Baller, and uh, over here I talk about gaming, mostly just straight gaming. And it's been a pretty fun, week, to be honest. Gran Turismo 7 releases, and I've had a blast playing that game. I cannot wait to tell you what are my thoughts and feelings about this racing game. Also, I'm going to be talking about my next chapter in game collecting. There's about to be addition by subtraction. I'll just basically say it like that. And I think it's the right move. I think it's one of the things that it needs to be done, and because I'm being pulled in a different direction when it comes to collecting video games. I told myself before I get into Gran Turismo 7, I told myself that I wasn't going to be collecting any games, and maybe like one game a month, because I feel like I have all the games that I want to have for the most part. I still feel that way. I think I do. I really don't have a reason to buy any games forever, basically, because I can pretty much play all these games I have now and not really miss a beat. But I have a desire to collect more games, but before I do that, I have to get rid of some other stuff. So I'll be talking about that as well. But if this is your first time here, welcome. I really appreciate it. There's been new viewership over here on this channel. This channel is trying to grow a little bit, and it's all thanks to you guys. You guys are the ones that make it go. And if it wasn't, for that, I probably would not, be putting much time into this channel, because this channel is basically like a hobby channel. I talk about the gaming stuff. My main channel is the First and Frame Rates channel, which I do a podcast on Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football. So I like to talk about my real hobby, which is gaming, and I really appreciate everybody who's been taking a liking to the content over here. I really, really appreciate it. So one more thing before I get started. The feedback for the football content over here, the NCAA '08 and the Madden '08 content is great. I really appreciate that. I have another football game coming up, Madden '08 Raiders Dynasty, will be up later on after this upload. So hopefully you guys will be able to check that out as well. Yeah, I'll be having fun playing those games. All right, enough of all of that. Let's go ahead and get into Gran Turismo 7. I stated this on Twitter, that this game is the greatest sim racing game I've ever played, and I'm not joking when I say that. Uh, I've played Gran Turismo since Gran Turismo 2. I'm a really big fan of Forza, and I like playing Forza, and those games are pretty much uh, I just love the laid back feeling that you have racing, and sometimes those games get really intense. The beautiful artwork, graphics. I mean, what can you say? These games are absolutely beautiful. I mean, I remember ever since like Gran Turismo 4 and Forza 4, when those two games came out in the PlayStation 2 era, even a little bit with Gran Turismo 3, but definitely with Gran Turismo 4 and Forza 4. I'm sorry, not Forza 4, Forza 1. When those games came out, I was just blown away how detailed those games were way back then in 2000. I think it was 2004 or something like that, or 2000 or something like that. Yeah. Uh, I played the hell out of both of those, Gran Turismo 4, Forza 1, and from then I just kept going. When I wasn't playing any football titles, I played one of those two games, and I watch how Gran Turismo continue to evolve from Gran Turismo 5, Gran Turismo 6, Gran Turismo Sport, and Forza was there as well. I was a big fan of those, but Gran Turismo Sport is probably, I mean, even with Gran Turismo 6, the PS3 era in general, those games look beautiful. Forza look amazing. I think Forza 5 wasn't as good looking as I thought it would be, but I really felt like Gran Turismo 6 and definitely Gran Turismo Sport I thought those games was like beautiful looking games. When Gran Turismo Sport came out, I was like, nah, the games can't get any better than this. Well, Gran Turismo 7 came out, and that game is, I mean, the graphics are just beautiful. Gran Turismo Sport, I didn't like too much how things were online. Well, Gran Turismo 7 takes it back to an offline campaign where the offline campaign is pretty much reminiscent of Gran Turismo 4. It is basically like a throwback, and the game has such great controls. When you started playing, when you start playing, it gives you this rundown of where you start playing a game like it's called Music Rally, and it took in that game not that mode, not only that the game eventually turns into like a Gran Turismo 4 setting. The game starts off as like a outrun type of game. And if you ever play Outrun, you will know you have a race against time. You have to get to these checkpoints, and that's what Gran Turismo started off with this music that you drive to that music, and you have to catch these checkpoints every 30 seconds or something like that. I found that really cool. I was like, whoa, I feel like I'm playing Outrun. So I was already blown away. And not only that, the controls of the game. Using this controller with the haptic feedback makes the game much more immersive than I've ever imagined. Now, you have force feedback, racing wheels, you have, controllers that rumble or whatever, but the the haptic feedback let me see, with these triggers is nothing like it. I've never felt something. And on top of that, the game already rumbles like if you run over anything on the road, or like when you have a little bit of turbulence while you're driving. The feeling itself gives you a level of immersion that I've never had in a racing game. And that's even going back to driving with the racing wheel. Cause sometimes driving with a racing wheel, it's fun, but at the same time, it can be real tedious because it does give you some sort of immersion when you're driving with a racing wheel. And I'm not knocking it, I'm not against it. But when you're driving with a racing wheel, it does get tiring because you're basically simulating, yourself driving. And after a while, that doesn't get fun. That's not fun after a while. Trust me, I drive for a living, in my real job. And I don't think I want to drive when I'm playing a video game. But it has its pros and cons. Sometimes I love it. Sometimes I can't stand it. But using this controller while driving is amazing. It's absolutely phenomenal. I haven't played the PS4 version. I have the digital deluxe version where you do have the PS4 version as well. I may download that to see what that's hitting on. I'm not sure. I don't think I have a reason to. I still go back and play Gran Turismo Sport just so I can get all those trophies in those races. But Gran Turismo 7 is where it's at right now. Not only that, the controls of the game is great. The graphics are great. The cars. This is one of the things I've started to notice, and I don't think I've noticed this much in Gran Turismo before, and I know it's the case because it's there, but I don't really notice it to an extent I did this time. The cars in Gran Turismo 7 genuinely feel different, way more than any other game has. Any other in the title, I mean in the series, I'll say that. Gran Turismo 6, Sport, Gran Turismo 5, even going back to 4, those games had, like, obviously if you drove like a Mitsubishi Eclipse and you turn right back around and you are driving like a Nissan GTR or something like that, you could tell the difference when you're driving those two cars. You could tell the difference. But the extent that is going into Gran Turismo 7 is like, wow, these cars feel amazing because I think you have to do like a cafe menu, or you go into the car cafe, and you have to collect these cars. and you have to drive different cars to collect them. So when you collect these cars, you can tell which car that you're driving, the difference how they feel. And I think that's one of the greatest things that they've done in this game, that where you can really feel the difference between the two cars. Not, I mean, well, different cars. Not saying that that wasn't the case before, but it's really prevalent, and it's probably because of this controller. You know what I'm saying? It's probably because of this controller that you feel the difference to the extent that you do. You know, playing with the DualShock 4, yeah, yeah, you could tell, but when you're like turning or whatever case may be, but with the PlayStation 5 controller, you can tell by, you know, just hitting the accelerator button or hitting the brakes. You know, I mean, with that haptic feedback, and I mean, I don't know. Oh man, the racing with that controller is probably like one of the greatest things I've ever felt in a racing game. And that's why I say I know this is the greatest racing game I've ever played. And I mean, I've played all of them from, you know, uh Pro Race Driver, and I'm not like one of these guys that's aficionado. But I just love racing games. So I play like Pro Race Driver, Toka Race Driver, all the rally games. Oh man, I can't wait to feel how a rally game will feel with this type of controller. Like the Dirt series, Grid, uh, Project Cars, Forza, obviously, iRacing. I've played Assetto Corsa. I played so many of them. And Gran Turismo is like the first one that broke that barrier where it does not feel the same as the other ones. And I'm literally getting to the point now. I don't see myself playing any other racing game until they step their game up. Outside of Gran Turismo Sport, and you know, arcade racers and rally racers. You know, but as far as sim racing goes, I don't know where to go with that. I think maybe outside of that, maybe Grid, because Grid is a different type of racing game. I mean, that game just has a different feel to it all in itself. You know, I've always been a fan of Grid. I mean, even 2019 Grid, I'm a big fan of that, and I just think that game just has a different feel, even though it does come off as a sim racer. Now, as far as Forza go, the new Forza are going to have to do something to step that game up. I have no desire to play. You know, I'm almost done with Forza 5, so I may play that still. I may. I don't even know. I mean, I don't have no desire to play Forza 6 or Forza 7. And I don't even play any of the Forza Horizon games. I like Forza 7. I mean, I have it on my PC, you know, through the, you know, Xbox, you know, Windows Store or whatever. But and I have it on Xbox Series, which I'll talk about those consoles in a little bit. I just have no desire to play those games at this point. I just don't feel. I think Gran Turismo 7 just stole their thunder. Basically, I'm probably about like 85% done with Forza 5, and I've been playing that game since 2013. I mean, it's been almost 9 years since I played that game. That is crazy. 9 years of Forza 5, but I just don't see myself, you know, playing that game anymore. Even though I'm almost done with it, I just feel like it's time to move on from those. I may go back and play Forza 7. Like I said, I have it on my PC, but um I don't know. I just don't have the desire to. I think Gran Turismo 7 is basically taking on a new life of itself, and I'm definitely enjoying it a lot. I truly feel that this is the best sim racer I've ever played, and I highly recommend it if you decide to get this game. I recommend it, but you know, racing games, simulation games, sim racing games isn't for everybody. But I'm enjoying it. I'm definitely enjoying it. Now, I'm going to jump over to my next chapter in game collecting. Now, you see on the screen the Xbox and the Xbox Series. Okay, why are those on the screen? I know this might sound crazy to some people, but there's a method to my madness. I have. I know I just got finished talking about Forza 5, and I talked about Forza 7. Forza 7 is on my PC. I could play Gears, I could play Halo, I could play all that on my PC. I basically don't have any desire to have an Xbox console anymore. Not the 360 or the original Xbox. I mean, I have a I counted the other day. I literally have almost 400 original Xbox games. I have about another 90. Well, I'll take that back. I have about another 85 or 80 or Xbox 360 games. From Xbox One on up, I've lost interest in that part of the Xbox brand, and it really sucks because I like Xbox, but I don't have any desire to continuously own the console and play the console. So I have an Xbox Series S. I'm probably going to go ahead and trade it in or get rid of it. Uh, there's a reason why behind that. First of all, it's digital only. And yeah, it's digital. It's digital only. I cannot find an Xbox Series X, and I've gotten to the point where I don't want to find one now. I have no reason to look for one now. So I'm looking at this situation like, well, I have the Xbox. I have Game Pass. Game Pass is fun. Why am I still holding on to this? I don't know. Most of the games I do want to play on Xbox, I can play on my PC. And I thought it'd be cool to keep the Xbox Series S just because. But it's been it's been about I can't remember how long it's been since I played the Xbox, but when I played the Xbox, I've played I can't remember the name of the game, but it was like it's this 2D platform game. I'll cut it on and I'll find out what it is, but I have it on Game Pass. If it's on PlayStation, I'll probably end up buying the game. The game is just that good. I like the little 2D game I was playing, and I just don't have any desire for Game Pass anymore. Game Pass is one of the best. Game Pass is probably one of the best deals that you can get in gaming. Unfortunately, I'm starting to look at Game Pass like I do with PlayStation now, and I never had a desire to really, take hold of PlayStation Now and use it as a viable gaming mechanism. In Game Pass, yes, you can play games or whatever the case may be, but to me, Game Pass is kind of similar to how I feel about emulation, and I'm going to explain that. When you emulate, like say for instance, I have a Sega Genesis emulator on this PC, and I have all the games to, the Sega Genesis, the 32X, Sega CD. That emulator plays all of those games. I have no desire to play those games like that because it's an emulator. I don't own most of those games. I don't own, probably when it comes to the Genesis emulator, I probably don't own like 85. I can say 85, probably about 95% of the games. Because I have a handful of Genesis titles, but with the many Genesis titles that are out there, I'll probably only broke like 30, I'm sorry, 5, probably about 5 or 10% of that collecting of all those games. So I don't have I don't know how some people are about that, but I don't have any desire just to play a bunch of ROMs. You know what I'm saying? I like to play games that I own, and I don't feel that I own the games that are on Game Pass. Yes, I could own them, but it's just outside of Halo, and I don't want to say it like this, outside of like the exclusive games that are on Xbox, which are they really exclusive now because they're on PC for the most part. Outside of Halo, Gears, Forza, a couple of other titles, I don't have any desire to collect for those games. And I don't have many I don't have many Xbox One titles. I have like 4 over there. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't have any desire because I know I can play them on Game Pass, and I don't even play them on Game Pass. So I don't have a desire to keep my Xbox. But what happens with my game collecting in general? Well, the new chapter of my game collecting, I'm about to go all in and start collecting PlayStation 5 games. I'm about to go all in and continue to collect PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 games. I don't think I'm going to be successful in collecting PlayStation 3 games there's not many PlayStation 3 games I want now. And when I say collecting, that doesn't mean I'm just going to buy games just because they're on the system. I collect games that I want to play. So I don't think that I'm going to pretty much collect many PS3 games. There's some Japanese titles that I want, and some of them are fairly expensive, like JoJo Bizarre Adventure. I do want that game. That's a Japan. I think it was only released in Japan. It may have been released here, but that game's expensive now. But I do want it. There's a couple of other titles on the PlayStation 3, maybe like 3 or 4 that I may want to end up buying. But the PlayStation 4, there's a lot of titles on PlayStation 4 I still want. And I'm going to continue to, since I have a PlayStation 5, shout out to Quayface, one of the supporters on this channel. He made sure I got a PlayStation 5, which was just flat out awesome. I really appreciate that. I still can't thank him enough. I feel that the PlayStation 5 is the move right now. I'm not saying it's the best console. I'm not saying it's better than the Xbox. I just feel like for me and what my gaming habits are, I feel like the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and pretty much the PlayStation 3, those current game systems are the move for me right now. As far as any other console that I have, I do feel that every now and then I'll probably pick up a game or two. Like say I find something for the GameCube, or I find another original Xbox game or a PlayStation 2. I'm not pursuing those titles those games anymore. I have more than enough of those titles on my wall over there. And I think I have every game I want for each system. But I may find a game or two that I find interesting. I may pick up on the retro side of things. But when it comes to PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, I feel that I want to, that's the new chap that I want. I want to start picking up some games. I want to have a whole bunch of PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 games. PlayStation 3, I may get a few games here and there. As far as the Nintendo goes, I am still on the pursuit of buying more games on the Wii U eShop. I'm still going to buy. I bought a few games the other day. I have it right here. I bought a Nintendo Wii card. What's this thing called? Is it a Wii card? Nintendo eShop card. I bought one of these the other day. Bought some new games for the Wii U. And there's a game on it that I really like. I may stream or show off that game one day. I don't want to talk about it now, but it's a game that was really good that I may play one day and show off on the channel. But there's some games on there that I really want to pick up. So the Wii U eShop, I'm still trying to buy some more games off of that, and continue to have those as my preference. For my collection. I may buy some Wii U games. I think I got. Ooh, excuse me. I think I'm up to like 50 Wii U games. This is probably some more I may get. That collection is not hard to complete actually, and I may do that. As far as a Nintendo Switch, I've made up my mind. 5 years in the game, Nintendo Switch has been out, and I still had no desire to pick one up. But if I do, I'm probably going to get a Nintendo Switch Lite, and that's going to be my handheld just to play games going, here and there when we travel or whatever case may be, or probably have it for my son or my wife to play. It's 5 years in. Nintendo may be on the verge of looking into putting out another console in the next few years. The cycle of the cycle of a Nintendo console is really like 7 years, maybe 6 years, I think. So we're in year 5 of the Switch. I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo comes out with another console. And it'll be really interesting to see what they're going to do with that. Will they actually make a traditional console now, or will they try to make another handheld style console? I don't know, because the Switch is doing so well. I don't know if they want to cannibalize that audience, or, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But that's going to be interesting to see what they do with that. Will they go traditional this time? I think it'll be a real incentive to do so, because you have all the handheld, or the hybrid community satisfied, so I don't know. That'll be an interesting thing to see. Nevertheless, Um, I'm pretty much content with the way I want to do this whole collecting thing. I just don't have no desire to collect physical copies of Xbox games. I just don't. And I really feel that PlayStation, for me, and I'm not saying it's better than the other. I think the PlayStation brand is just gonna hold up my time more than anything. Between that and the original Xbox and all these other consoles, I think that the odd man out is the latest Xbox stuff, Xbox One, Xbox Series. They're kind of like the odd man out right now. And maybe one day I'll pick up one down the road. I'll take more than likely I will be purchasing a Xbox Series X one day because I collect these consoles. You know, I will eventually get one. Just like when I just like when I got rid of the PlayStation 4 at one point, I ended up getting it back again. So um therefore it's not like I don't like Xbox. It's just right now it just doesn't do anything for me. It's just gonna collect dust. And I know my Series S could be used in some other form or fashion for other people. So I'll probably get rid of it, trade it in, or sell it, or whatever the case may be. I don't know. But that's pretty much it, man. Gran Turismo 7, man, phenomenal racing game. I'm going to go play that game once I finish this. Also, my new chapter in game collecting. I can't wait to start collecting more PS5 games. To be honest, I'm probably almost up to about 100 PS4 games. Yeah, that snuck up on me really quick. I didn't even realize I had that many PS4 games, but that's another story for another day. I'll get into. Um, but let me know what you guys think. If you like this content, hit the like button, share this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Madden 08 Raiders Dynasty will be up. If you don't see it already as a premiere, you will see this up and see that up later. I will be seeing you guys throughout the week. I'm going to be making more videos throughout the week about gaming and everything under that umbrella. And hopefully I will see you guys for episode 37. Thank you guys for all the support. You guys are amazing. You guys are awesome. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you on the next one. You guys be blessed. Peace.